Hi everybody, I'm Skipper Bob Bartlett and we're getting ready to do a virtual tour today of icebergs and whales in Trinity Bay. We've already seen some whales, we definitely know we got some icebergs. So we're going to get dressed up and we're going to head out. Hey everyone, Skipper Bob. First mate Bonnie there. Just out giving our Zodiac a run. After changing all the filters and everything out in it, so we're just getting ready for the season, just getting everything to run. You can see what a gorgeous day it is. And you can see right behind me, I don't know if you can see it with all the sun. There's an iceberg in the cove in there. Really nice, beautiful spot in Ragged Rock Cove there. So we'll have some pictures out later on, but we got a couple of humpbacks here. Got a cow and a calf as well, so just waiting for those to come up. They just went down a little while ago, so should be a nice, beautiful evening on the water here. Just fantastic. You can see all around, and the sun is just blazing down on everything. Just turned out to be a great day. It was it's not such a nice day this morning with all the snow. You can see too, right down there. We just came from that iceberg down there. Big flat iceberg. Tabular. As opposed to this one in here, which is a big pinnacled one. I don't know if you can see it. If I can get it right in the shot there behind me. And the sun is just blazing down. Just fantastic. Anyway. I'm getting ready for the humpbacks and they come back up now, so I'm going to sign off. Yeah, I don't think it's the same whale at all. Huh? Yeah, it does. Oh yeah, that portion looks good. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, a little bit of a tail. That's a nice chunk of ice, this one. 20 feet high from the water's edge. 9/10 below, 1/10 above. Pretty massive piece of ice. We also had our first whales today, which is pretty awesome. And the sun is just gorgeous.
Okay, what do you think? Should we go back and get the other boat and come back and do some drone shots? I think they're a great idea. Okay, let's do that.
Okay, so this was a much larger piece of ice with 2 pinnacles. So this is the first time we've been able to get out to it. This is up in a spot we call Ragged Rock Cove. So really still a really nice piece of ice. The other half of it is down there off the horse shop. We're going to try and fly the drone over down in that. It's in a nice sheltered area of the bay, so maybe I'll get some drone footage, I hope.
Icebergs break off the western coast of Greenland. Glaciers flow to the ocean like plasticine putty and break off to fall into the ocean. These become the icebergs we see in our videos. Icebergs travel from Greenland along the coast of Labrador. They follow down the northern peninsula of Newfoundland. They then travel along the northern coast of Newfoundland, known as Iceberg Alley. It may take an iceberg up to 3 years to reach the coast of Newfoundland. They travel along the northeast coast, right past the doorstep of Trinity Eco Tours. We are in the heart of Iceberg Alley. Trinity Eco Tours is based out of the storybook setting of the community of Trinity, Trinity Bay. First settled in the late 16th century, the first court in the New World was conducted at Trinity in 1615. Trinity has been the backdrop of a thriving fishing outport since the 1500s. Icebergs have been a prominent feature of the landscape for millennia, since the end of the Ice Age. The ice and snow in an iceberg can be up to 15,000 years old. General consensus says that the glaciers of Greenland are diminishing in size. It is estimated that polar ice caps may be gone by the end of this century. Icebergs may be becoming a thing of the past. Interest in icebergs has grown exponentially since the 100th year anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic. It is estimated that icebergs may be but all disappeared in less than 40 years. Remember, global warming has been taking place for 10,000 years. Canada used to be covered by a sheet of ice a mile thick in places. The concern for global warming is not that it's taking place, but at the rate that it's taking place. Get that?
Another successful.
I always just goes up my chest and my throat when that happens. Like that hurts. That's a big piece of ice, man.
Yeah. Ooh.
You're not lifting that very easily.
Oh, that's a bigger piece.
Yeah.
The other one's smaller.
There we go.
Try to get the birdie bin. Ah.
Can't pass these cold. So, I'll have to drink the drink that fits in tonight. So iceberg harvesting like this, most pure water in the world. That's a great flavor to your drinks. It can have a flavor, it's so pure. So we got a couple of small pieces around here we're going to pick up. And we'll probably have to toast tonight. There's a mighty iceberg over here. That's a great one too. It's a piece that broke off. It's way down there on the horse chops. Must be every bit as big as that and better, but no pinnacle. Can't zoom this. Just got the day of days here. It's just absolutely beautiful. This is, well, I'm calling it the Bonavista Vista iceberg. All the icebergs I name usually are close to whatever area that they're next to, or if it's Melrose, or if it's Cape Bonavista, or like last night the Trinity iceberg or Ragged Rock Cove iceberg. So anyway, this is very close to Cape Bonavista. I don't know, Bonnie, if you could swing around there and just have a look. That's Cape Bonavista right there. We've just taken a day and had a great tour. Took across 3 icebergs so far. And it's just absolutely phenomenal. What a day. So I'm going to get some drone shots of this particular iceberg, and that'll give you some idea of the depth and the width of it. And also this ice in this iceberg, or the snow, actually fell somewhere between 15 and 30,000 years ago. It cracked out the western coast of Greenland and is floated down here. It takes up to 2 to 3 years for an iceberg to arrive here. And just to give you some idea, 9/10 below, 1/10 above. Same as you see in your drink. So it's a lot of massive amount of ice in this iceberg below the surface. And I'm just gonna back us up here, sir. We got some background other than me just yakking, but just an absolutely gorgeous day. You couldn't have tailor ordered it better. I'd like every tour day to be like this, but we go in all kinds of weather. So, as you can probably tell too, that on these tours is not so much about fashion, it's more about function. So our suits are big and bulky, and they're not streamlined and attractive, but they certainly are fit that functional mode that I was just talking about. They keep you nice and warm, and that's the idea of them. And we provide them for everybody. So this iceberg, just to give you some ideas, should be pretty close to grounded. It hasn't moved out of here in, how long has this been here? We said a month to 6 weeks. So it hasn't moved out. It's in about 90 meters of water right here. So I would suspect it's grounded or close to grounded. It hasn't gone very far, but it's been drifting all around in here in this area. This is a great area for icebergs because there's a deep water channel that comes in here, and the icebergs follow into that channel, and they more or less get locked in with the tide, so they stay there for the duration of the season usually. Like I said, this one has already been here 6 to 8 weeks already. But you get them early and they can stay up till mid-July in some cases. This year with COVID-19 being a formidable factor in the tourism season, as usual, we've had a great start to the season. We've had, turn those engines off. We'll see how that goes. So I'll start back again with that.
You want me to?
Sure hope those engines start.
Yeah. Okay. Take 2.
Yeah,
It's actually really nice because you can hear the ocean.
I know.
Describe just how different things are for you this year. Oh crap. Okay, Robert.
Oh, with COVID, yeah. Okay.
Describe just how different things are for you and your business this year.
Of course, with COVID-19 being a formidable factor in the tourism season this year, and certainly an unforeseen circumstance, it has affected tourism and will affect it greatly for the entire season. In our case, the season has started out early. We saw whales last evening. We may see whales on the return part of this trip today. And we've seen 3 icebergs. So the season has started early. All the material is here that we need to start. We will be starting our tours the 1st of May in earnest. And of course, we won't be doing the 1st of May this year because of COVID-19. It's definitely going to affect our revenue. The government is trying to help us out as best we can and help everybody out as best they can by providing income for people to have and use, but it's not the long-term solution, and the effects are going to be long felt. People are not going to be traveling by air. They're going to be very limited to traveling by car. That requires time, requires major effort and time. Not everybody has it. Not everybody's going to have as much disposable income because of this COVID-19 epidemic, just about to call it what it is. And so what we're going to recover out of this tour season, I suspect, is going to be from local tourism, Atlantic Province tourism, and we've all got to pull together, and everybody can have the best time right here in the Atlantic provinces and support each other. I can't emphasize that enough. People from all around the world come here because of what we have and what we have in our own backyard. We need to utilize and take advantage of and really appreciate. So get out there, enjoy, get out to provincial parks, do some tours, whale tours, iceberg tours, take a road trip. It just goes on and on and on, the things that you can do. As a matter of fact, we just wrote up a blog called Being a Tourist in Your Own Province. So have a look at that and see some of the suggestions we made there. I made some great ones, I know. We worked on it really hard, and it was a concerted effort. The season so far, and I mean, this is only the 2nd trip we've done. I'll just give you some indication. So last year we saw whales the 7th of April. This year we saw on our first, was it our first trip? No, our 2nd trip. On our 2nd trip we saw upwards of 6 whales. So every indication that this is going to be a banner year as well as any other year. Capelin will arrive here mid to late June, and of course the whales are going to follow in. Whales that are here are either migrating or passing through. Some whales will overwinter in Newfoundland and in the North Atlantic, just females taking a break from the breeding season. And others are traveling with calves, so they're gone probably as far as the Barents Sea and are coming back again. So all indications, no different than the other year, the wildlife is going to show up, and it's going to be a fantastic season for those people that are going to be able to enjoy it.
Have you got either a story or a little tidbit or anecdote or something to share with us?
You've been on these trips. What do I share? The story of Finnegan is always a great one. I really love that whole take. Started somewhere in April season with this whale that we came to name Finnegan. That was what we ended up calling him. But he showed up in the iceberg season just like this. We were doing a shoot for Maclean's magazine, and he ended up being in the covers of it. He showed up in 2016 in April again with the icebergs, and he stayed for about two and a half months, and we used to see him just about every day. And he ended up being a pretty familiar fellow that used to come visit when the boat came around. So there's actually one of the pictures on our website is of Finnegan where him and I actually are. It looks like we're touching. He's that close. And even on our Facebook cover video, we have an up close shot of video of Finnegan underwater. So yeah, it's a really special story, and I would never ever expected that to take place with a humpback, you know, a whale that's 50 feet long. So I mean, the boat is 25. They're quite large, and I've seen whales up close. I've swam with them in the Dominican Republic, and I've swam with them here in the bay as well. So it's just extraordinary what the whales that come here are just so involved with people and boats, and so I really just have a lot of interest in what do you say? Huh?
Respect.
Oh yeah.
You finish it.
Yes, a lot of interest and respect for the whales, yes.
While our fascination with icebergs draws us to them, like people on our tours, these behemoths glint in the sun and are amazing to behold. It will be hard to believe that you might not see one until it is too late, like the Titanic. The largest ever marine disaster put a different focus on icebergs as a hazard to shipping. Titanic disaster gave rise to the International Ice Patrol. All icebergs are tracked by satellite, ship sightings, and formulated into a map for mariners as well as VHF reports for vessels at sea. Safety around icebergs is paramount. Our exposure suits enhance survivability and time in the water in case of submersion. Our VHF radio is capable of transmitting our last known coordinates for search and rescue purposes. All equipment is dualed on the boat: engines, fuel, and bilge systems. We also have a first aid kit on board, as well as a fire extinguisher. Keeping a safe distance from icebergs is paramount. Large pieces fracture off, submerged pieces may break off and float to the surface, or the center of gravity of the iceberg may change so that they roll completely over. Maintaining a healthy distance ensures we're able to enjoy the beauty of these behemoths from a safe distance.
Oh no.
One of my favorite encounters that we've had since I've been in business, which started in 2009, was actually the first season that we started. And of course, we didn't invest in the cameras and equipment that we have now, so I didn't get a chance to record it. So I love telling people about it. We had a group of people on board. I believe it was the Vivians from, I shouldn't say names, I suppose. One of my favorite encounters is we didn't have the camera equipment and everything that we have now. It was in our first year of operation. There was a bunch of fin whales swimming around the boat, and we hadn't seen that much, and people had just, after about an hour, and hadn't seen anything, getting kind of desperate. So we shut down the engines, and we heard I've actually described this on Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism's whale tails. They did a video shoot of that, but it's probably one of the best ones that ever happened to us. And we had a bunch of fin whales came around the boat after a long while on tour and not seeing anything, and they passed by the boat, and they were going around in this little area where all the capelin were and just diving through them, just having a great time. And there was a bunch of dolphins came along at the same time and basically ran into the whales. And the fin whale is the second largest whale in the world, anywhere between 66 and up to 80 feet long. And they just ended up, the dolphins and the whales swam together, and the whales were continuing on feeding, and the dolphins actually started jumping over the heads of the fin whales. So, and it was phenomenal to see, and of course everybody was thrilled to death. Like I said, we never had the camera equipment that we do now, and it was just
it was. I never got any. I never even got a photograph of it, which is amazing. We get photographs of everything, or I try to get photographs of everything. And I just ended up that that I never really saw that again, but it was surely a fantastic thing to see. We did get pretty close last year. We had fin whales and dolphins together, but they weren't playing like that, and certainly that's what it was. It was a good indication of play, right? Yeah, just that's something phenomenal to see, and it happens in the wild, which makes it all that more alluring and attractive for sure. So many other questions?
That was all I threw,
Yeah.
And Annie can tell a little story if you had to share a tidbit of information.
Oh yeah, well, usually I tell everybody on these tours that up where Bonnie is in the front,
Hi.
usually we got everybody in the front and all throughout the boat. I usually tell everybody keep a 360-degree vigil because we're looking for whales, of course, and they can show up anywhere. They can show up behind just as well as in front. So usually assign in a quadrant. Everybody use a clock system on the boat with the bow is 12 after 6, right is 3, left is 9. So we get everybody to watch a quadrant, and that way you can tell which if anybody sees anything, they can tell me look at 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then I can make up my mind whether we should go to it or not. So everybody has an active part when they're on a tour with us. I was going to say icebergs are usually a lot easier to sight, but so we just stopped for a little lunch now. It's just a fantastic day. Anything else you can think of that we should?
I'm not trying to think of any other stories.
No. This is not our regular route. Bonavista would be a special case to come and see this iceberg. We usually do a route that runs up or down from Trinity to Catalina, or Trinity on up to Smith Sound up there. I mean, that's where we usually see our wildlife. But icebergs, again, we'll make a special case out of them. And to give you some idea of depth and breadth of this iceberg here, we're actually going to do some drone shots now. So I'll sign off, and we'll work our magic from here. All right. Trinity Eco Tours is a private entity started by Skipper Bob in 2009. Since that time, we have changed our focus from enjoyable whale watching trips to marine wildlife experiences with a focus on entertainment, education, and awareness of marine environment issues. Through education, we hope to inspire all ages, but especially the youth, to become more environmentally conscious and better stewards of the ocean. The planet's future lies with them. In the video, you see how far the wings of the iceberg extend underneath the surface. It is why it is so important to maintain distance and watch sonar readings for the change in depth associated with any underwater ice shelf. Radar is a tremendous asset for iceberg tours. Newfoundland has the most annual fog days on the planet, so radar gives us eyes where fog prevents us from seeing. Based on the great weather in the video, you would think all days are like that, but I assure you it isn't. With our focus on customer safety and customer satisfaction, our guests only have good things to say. Drones are a view to icebergs that could only be seen from planes previously, and we have invested heavily in technology. It helps to keep us safe, but it also brings more of the icebergs to life. I only hope you can experience in real time someday on a trip with us what you have seen today. Look up our website, www.trinityecotours.com, and or follow us on Facebook. We see and experience awesome Discovery Channel moments on our tours. I hope you can come to Newfoundland to experience it for yourself.
Okay, everybody, we've had our drone shots. We've done our drone shots. I've had just quite a few drone shots done. Trying to get our best shot now with my S10 here. We're going to go around once around the iceberg. It's 5 o'clock now. We're getting ready to go home. Actually, we got a nice long run ahead of us. Then it's just one phenomenal piece of ice. And it extends out a long ways. I just showed you the drone shot. It extends way in front of you, more so than our side. You'll see it on the footage. So again, still a beautiful day. We're at about 93 meters of water. Look at that deep water channel I was talking about. Pretty well has this trapped in her. That's why it can't get out. Turning up 2 batteries on the drone, so we should get some shots out of that. In the background there as we come around. Wow, just a great piece of ice. Pinnacle's got to be at least 80 feet. So I'm going to move out a little bit here because I'm going to extend it quite a bit in our front. You realize how cold it is here. Not cold at all. Matter of fact, portions of the trip we had to take our suits down. Like I said, I wish every April day was like this. When this started off, it was much larger, of course. It's fractured the calves how many times, you don't know. You see all the face there, the front pieces that are dropping off daily. My sister-in-law for the selfie stick is probably the best investment for our camera equipment goes that I've ever had. It just keeps on giving. You can use it for just about anything. It gives great perspective, gets you in the shot, gets you able to talk to the camera. So thanks, Young Oak, for that. All the while. We're going to put the pedal to the metal here, and as soon as we get one trip around, we're going to go right on up home. We're going to go 20 nautical miles per hour, not anymore. We'll stop in and check with you along the way. Stop off a couple of icebergs on the way home. The lights should be just great now for the evening. We planned this trip for the whole day, trying to catch the best of the sunlight. I know you can't see it, but there's a candle over there. We passed about, I'd have to say, 1,000 otter ducks on the way down. Just phenomenal. Well, hopefully we'll see some whales on the way back. dove in the water over there. One, two, I don't know if we can close it or not. Anyway, this would be a great opportunity to see us all on CBC as a virtual tour. Trinity Eco Tours is giving. No two trips the same. And neither is this one. Anyway, we're headed home. Skipper Bob, first mate Bonnie there, just out giving our Zodiac a run. Larger piece of ice with 2 pinnacles. So this is the first time we've been able to get out to it. This is up in a spot we call Ragged Rock Pole. Chunk of ice, this one. 20 feet high. sea's cold. So, I'll have to drink the drink that fits in tonight. So we just got the day of days here. It's just absolutely beautiful. This is what I'm calling the Bonham Vista iceberg. All the icebergs I name usually are close to whatever area that they're next to. This iceberg, or the snow actually fell somewhere between 15 and 30,000 years ago. It cracked off the western coast of Greenland and it floated down here. It takes up to 2 to 3 years for an iceberg to arrive here. And just to give you some idea, 9/10 below, 1/10 above. Same as you see in your drink. Of course, with COVID-19 being a formidable factor in the tourism season this year, and certainly an unforeseen circumstance, it has affected tourism and will affect it greatly for the entire season. So what we're going to recover out of this tour season, I suspect, is going to be from local tourism, Atlantic Province tourism. We've all got to pull together and everybody can have the best time right here in the Atlantic provinces and support each other. I can't emphasize that enough. People from all around the world come here because of what we have and what we have in our own backyard we need to utilize and take advantage of and really appreciate. So get out there, enjoy. We just wrote up a blog called Being a Tourist in Your Own Province. So have a look at that and just see some of the suggestions we made there. I made some great ones, I know. We'll put that clear. Okay.
Hi everybody, out to the iceberg again. It's moved into Port Rexton now.
Just show Skipper Bob trucking a few scallops here.
And we're actually going to show you something different today. We've got our friend Dan, who's in our bubble. And Skipper Bob is right here and he's shucking some scallops that he just dove and got for us. So we're going to be having some scallops later today. Yummy!
Poverty.
It's a rough life.
That's what they look like.
They're really big.
Yeah, it's just basically the meat that holds the two shells together, and the frill and the gut and everything else, and all the eyes. As a matter of fact, I'll show you one here. This is a scallop that was on the bottom just about probably half an hour ago. So it just sits on the bottom like that. And they filter feed water through. You can just see the lip right here. No, that's into the sun bottom.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of hard.
You can just see where the lip is open here. So they filter water in through there and they spit it out the back. And that's how they eat. So they're held together. I'll just split this apart. And just scrape the top there. And basically, this white meat holds the two shells together. And that's it, basically all you eat. But this is all the frill. This is actually the spawn sac here. These are eyes. Can't remember, I think it's like 300 eyes that these things have. And this is a stomach back here. Like I said, that's the frill, what they call the frill, the eyes, 2 sets. So we throw most of that away. Some people eat it, but I don't.
I want some of those shells, please.
Yeah. And that's basically what you eat. So another half hour, 45 minutes, we'll be eating these. Beautiful day here today, nice warm temperature. And you're not catching my best side.
No, well you need to move.
Yeah, I'm right into the sun.
Oh, I will move. You're throwing away my shells, dude. Don't be throwing away my shells. You're gonna make me money someday. And at this rate, I'm gonna need it. Stop it!
The shells are dirty. I don't want them in the boat.
Who cares?
You care? When people come aboard here in a month's time, they're gonna be.
You're giving Chris something to do when you're gone.
Yes, Skipper Chris.
Chris knows you'll need it. Okay. Over and out.